In a previous video, I spoke about how I wasn't happy with my 5-year-old TV as it was so painfully slow and the image wasn't that great. A lot of you gave me some great suggestions on what to replace it with, and I think I found it. But it's not a TV. Let me tell you all about what's new and how I created a mini cinema in my bedroom. Now, I don't know about you, but when I'm searching for something like a new TV, it's pretty hard to find anything that ticks all the boxes. The main issues I've come across are a factor of cost, size, and performance, with each problem crossing over in some way. Whether you have the best performing OLED TV, but it's only available in larger sizes and at an expensive cost, or you found a nice 40-inch TV, but it's not OLED and it's got a slow processor and everything takes forever to load. Then we have to expand into other factors like the space the TV will be in and whether it actually looks any good. For me, personally, I've got a small space in which I work, film videos, game, watch films, and even sleep. So whenever I want to sit back, relax, and watch some TV, I'm going to be sat in bed. Therefore, I want this to be comfortable, and if I'm going to be upgrading my TV, I want it to last and be something I can take with me into hopefully a bigger space. And while we're talking about bigger and better things, if you like this content and any other video I make, why not hit that subscribe button so that number can get a little bit bigger. So rather than switching out my TV for another, why not try out a projector, as I really only spend time in front of my TV at night when I'm sat in bed. I've got a decent sized wall at the end of my bed, so it's screaming out for me to ditch the ugly black rectangle and install a pull down screen. And if you couldn't tell by the video title or by what's coming up, I've done just that, and this would not be possible without the help of Valerion, who kindly sent me their StreamMaster Plus 2 4K laser projector. And I'm so glad they did, as it's quite an experience. But before we give them some love and talk about the projector in more detail, we need to get it all set up and ready, and that all starts with finding a place to actually place the projector. There's actually a few ways you can mount a projector: on the ceiling, the wall, off to the side on a piece of furniture, or on a tripod. I opted for a hybrid approach with a shelf and a gimbal stand, as it seemed like the easiest option in such a small space. So I went down to my local DIY store, grabbed a cheap shelf that was deep enough that could handle the 7kg weight of the projector, and then mounted it above my bed's backboard. But there was one thing I had to take into consideration, and that was the light fitting above my bed. I didn't want the projector to be blocked by it, so I made sure to place the shelf a little lower than I would normally to accommodate it. Then, if you're going to use a projector, it's a good idea to get a screen for the best experience. Also, I've read online. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on this, as eventually I'm hoping to move into a bigger space that can take full advantage of how big an image this projector can actually project. So I went searching and came across this affordable 60-inch 16:9 pull-down projector screen that I found on Amazon. I have no real complaints about the quality, however, it would have been nice to have some sort of template to help with the drilling of the holes to mount it. Even something as simple as a paper guide would have been really helpful. Also, there is this really funky smell that lingers when you pull down the screen, so I've had to let it breathe with the windows open for a few days now. This whole mini cinema is starting to take shape, and most people would be happy with a projector and a screen. But I'm not most people. I always like to make things a little bit more me and improve on it, even if it's something as small as cable management. To kick off the improvements, I need a better sound system. One thing good about my old TV was the soundbar. It may not be the most expensive, and it was actually a free addition when I bought the TV. So I'm going to recycle it with my projector, and to make this work, I'm going to need a long optical audio cable. I could use Bluetooth, but I've noticed the soundbar likes to drop out from time to time when using it. Next up, I want it to feel a bit like a cinema, so I need to make sure it's dark when I'm watching a film. Long-time viewers of this channel know I have a lot of smart home tech in this room, and my electric curtain and blind drivers really help with this to block out all of the light. I've programmed into a smart switch that I've stuck to the side of my bed a scene where if I tap twice, my curtains and blinds will close and all the lights will turn off except for a few accent lights which will illuminate at a low level, which gives it a real feeling of being in a small cinema. It is worth noting that you definitely want some blackout curtains and blinds if you're going to have a similar setup, as you want the room to be as dark as possible for the best viewing experience. You should always try and avoid any sort of light hitting the screen, as it will affect the picture quality if you can't tell by the fact that I'm using a big light here and the screen is quite washed out. Then it's all about cable management. One thing I found was the power lead for the projector wasn't that long, so I've had to go with this cheap cable trunking solution to get the power lead from the bottom of the wall up to the projector. I've relayed this information onto Valerion and suggested they release a much longer cable. And finally, I'm a big Apple fan and I use a lot of their products, so I'm going to plug my Apple TV 4K into the projector, as it also doubles up as a home hub for a lot of my HomeKit automations. Then it's a case of just making it look nice under the screen. So we've obviously got my Apple TV, a few real and fake plants, a couple of candles, my router which unfortunately I can't move, and a DualShock 5 controller for gaming, and a couple of random bits just to give it a bit more personality. We're all done, it's finally time to kick back and enjoy it. And what an experience it is, if I'm honest. I've gone back and rewatched all of the Andor series, and it's so much different experiencing it with this projector. The size, the image, and the clarity is so much nicer than my old TV, and what's better is how many top features this projector supports and the great specs it offers for the price. For example, 4K Dolby Vision, IMAX Enhanced, up to 240Hz refresh rate for smooth gaming, built-in Wi-Fi 6, up to 2000 lumens in brightness, 10,000:1 contrast ratio giving you deeper blacks and a less washed out image, 110% coverage of the Rec 2020 color space for vibrant colors that are accurate. You can watch 3D films, there's an auto keystoning and focusing mode, which if you didn't know, corrects any warping of the image if you place the projector at an angle. There's AI image enhancements, built-in Google TV and Assistant, and things like AirPlay 2. Then there's the ability to project the screen up to 300 inches, and there's also smart home integration, which means when you turn this projector on, you can create a whole automation around it, so your lights turn off, or you could start playing music if you really wanted to. For me, I've loved that I can project a huge image onto my wall, and with the auto screen fit, it automatically resized the image to my 60-inch screen, which makes setting it up a breeze. Then I can't help but appreciate the projector itself. It is a really nice looking product. Most projectors I see are quite honestly pretty ugly and uninspiring. I appreciate that Valerion have taken the design of the StreamMaster Plus 2 seriously and created something you'd actually want to see in your space. Whether you're hanging it from the ceiling, sticking it on a tripod, a shelf, or resting it on your coffee table, it's a very nice looking product. The white gloss front, the silver fins on the side with the cutouts for the airflow, and the fold-out stand truly make it stand out in a good way. Now let's talk about using it in general. It's fast, there's no denying that scrolling through apps, watching 4K content, and everything in between is smooth. It's never suffered a slowdown. Using Google TV is easy, efficient, and does the job. But for myself personally, I'm a big fan of Apple TV's interface. It's a lot cleaner for me, and I like its simple design compared to Google TV's, which is a bit too in your face for my liking. The remote is nice and it's not too dissimilar to a normal TV remote, but with obvious projector buttons like an autofocus button, an AI enhancement button, and a user account button. So, if you're in a household where you all have your own YouTube or Google accounts, you can personalize it to your own individual accounts and streaming services. There's only two complaints I have with the remote. Being backlit is very good, especially as you're going to be using this projector in a dark environment 90% of the time. But I think every button should light up, especially the volume and arrow buttons, more so than the select few you can see here. Also, I'm not sure if it's just my remote, but the arrows seem very wobbly and make a rattle sound, but you only really notice it when holding the remote slightly upside down or vertically. The projector itself does have a built-in fan to keep it cool. It's not loud enough to be annoying, as you'll most likely drown out any noise through the content you're watching, but if you listen out for it, you can definitely hear it. It's nothing to be alarmed about though. And when it comes to gaming, all I can say is, gaming on a projector is absolutely bonkers. It's incredibly immersive and you'll get lost in whatever game you're playing for hours on end. You won't get the ultra-fast response times needed for serious competitive esports gaming, but for console gamers or those of you who have a small form factor PC sat next to your TV, this will be a really cool and fun experience. Now, just because this projector doesn't have 1 milliseconds or lower response times doesn't mean it's bad. You can get as low as 4 milliseconds if you switch to 1080p. Some people might turn their noses up at 1080p, but by doing so, your refresh rate can reach 240Hz, which I'd personally prefer if I'm playing any sort of fast-paced game. If you want to experience something truly immersive and your system can handle it, play a game like Cyberpunk 2077 in 4K on the biggest screen you can project. It's something special and is really making me want to pick up a small factor gaming PC just for this reason alone. And that's my new mini bedroom cinema. I will say it's an experience, and watching back some of my favourite films, shows, and even something as simple as a YouTube video is incredibly immersive and, dare I say, cinematic with this projector. And I think this might be the start of an unhealthy and potentially expensive future endeavour into projectors and home cinema setups. Finally, a big thank you to anyone who gave me some suggestions for a new TV in my last desk setup video. There was quite a few of you and I appreciate you for reaching out with your suggestions. And I'd love to know what you think of this upgrade. And of course, I have to thank Valerion once again for sending out this projector, which allowed me to enhance the space and give me my own cinema experience.